Hi Cancer, this is your June 2023 reading using archetype cards, tarot cards, and we're going to throw in some astrology there too. Well, the sun will move into Cancer on the 22nd of June. And as the sun moves through the sign of Cancer, the essence of Cancer becomes illuminated. Your inner world and your emotions, which are Cancer qualities and themes, become really focused, and they are actually expected to come outwards. Cancer is a very internal sign and a very reflective feminine energy, but with the masculine expression of the sun moving through that sign, you are being invited to put forward your essence into the world, bringing your inner world outwards into the external for radical love and acceptance of who you truly are. Before that, there is a new moon on 19th of June. This is the new moon in Gemini, which is ending Gemini season more or less with an opportunity for change for all of the signs. So the new moon in Gemini for you, Cancer, is going to be a portal that's opening around what you want to basically change the most in your life. Other than that, the month is relatively chill astrologically, but if you are born with a late degree rising, moon, sun, or any other placement in Cancer, you are going to be experiencing Pluto retrograde back into the sign of Capricorn, which sits opposite you. And this could be a more intense opposition that you will feel. So anything, that has been going on for you, Cancer, that has felt like recently it's just been true psychological, slow and steady progress and deaths, rebirths and transformation and regeneration. Well, from the 11th of June onwards, when Pluto is back in Capricorn, sitting opposite you, Cancer, it's almost going to be checking up and seeing how far along you've come and where else you need to grow. Let's start this reading with an archetype card to set the tone for how things have been going for you and see what else we can learn about your month ahead. I have the stone. Is the eternal, the anchor, the rock. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. Sounds like a Pluto transit to me. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go, therefore it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used as an anchor for our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to the earth, helping us to ground and connect to us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. So if you're going to see this archetype come up in your life in June, or you have been seeing it come up, the lighter expression of it is steadfastness, loyal, committed, and very present. But in the shadow aspect of this archetype, we can feel weighted down or held back or even cold, I guess. Let's pull a tarot spread and look at that together. Let's pull some cards for you now, Cancer. I'm going to talk through this spread back on camera, but it might be nice to even take a screenshot of the cards just to kind of refer back to. We have the Hierophant in reverse, the Eight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, Justice card, Six of Wands, Six of Swords up here. We also have the Tethered one or Hanged one in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Cups, and the Magician card. Okay, that's going to be a lot to get into. Five major arcana cards. big month ahead, I guess, in terms of soul growth, in terms of various lessons and blessings. To me, this just looks like going your own way right away. It also looks like travel this month. And it looks like a important message that you share or receive. But before getting into it, I'm just going to pull another few cards to flesh this out a little bit. We have Antares, the heart of the Scorpion. That's going to be the fixed star message that we're focused on this month. And let me just take a few more archetype cards as well, Cancer, to get some deeper messages for you. Completely marching to the beat of your own drum this month. I love to see the Hierophant in reverse and you just on your merry way in the Eight of Cups. Awesome. We also have messages coming through with attack. Oh, interesting. Spiritual attack, psychic attack. Let's see. We have growth. Love that one. And we have government. Okay, we're going to see what messages are coming through from these cards too and tie it all together for you. The fixed star Antares translates to rival of Mars. So it's found in the constellation of Scorpio, but actually it sits at 10 degrees of Sagittarius. This is going to be speaking to defenses, right? It speaks to the armor, and it has a few different properties. It has a property of fortification. It also has the magical power to restore memory. If you feel like you've been struggling with not being able to remember things, this card is speaking to blessings coming through around your ability to focus more this month. But the third, and I think the most important thing that comes up in this reading with Antares, it has a power to defend against spiritual attack. And that's what I thought of immediately when I saw Antares and then I saw the attack card come through. I feel like you are wary at the moment of certain presences around you that just don't feel good. They just don't feel like they are supportive for you. There is a warning here though, not to build up your defenses so much that it becomes a prison, because we are stepping into Cancer season with hopefully a very open heart. So there are spiritual entities that really don't mean any harm. They just get confused and they get stuck sometimes. So you don't want to be worried too much about beings that are confusing or just kind of like slightly even more negative or dense, that don't mean you any harm. Because I get, Cancer, that you've either been expelling a lot of energy recently, and Antares is a card to drop the defenses and lay down and rest. As when the attack came up, I don't see that as an attack on the physical. I see it as an attack on the spiritual or psychic levels and planes. So how do you defend yourself then? It's very simple. Prayer, meditation, calling your power back to you, envisioning yourself with light around you. There's so many protection stones and crystals, and there's so many protection rituals that you can find online too. This shouldn't be a scary thing at all. This is an empowering moment for you to pick up the armor, okay? So you'll know what way you're falling on that spectrum. I think that your beliefs could be under attack. That's what I think too. If not a spiritual or psychic attack, I feel like the Hierophant in reverse, the first card that came through, is about you being quite bold and being quite, you know, you're marching to the beat of your own drum. You're doing things a little radically, a little going against the grain, or maybe a lot of going against the grain is coming up this month. Upright, the Hierophant speaks to tradition and customs and ritual, how it's always been done. In the reversal, we are doing things a little bit outside of the box. So you may be the type of person that is always getting questioned. Why are you doing it that way, Cancer? Maybe when you were young, you were asked in a kind of demeaning way, like, why do you have to do it that way? And you're always wondering like why your progressive way of thinking or your differences or your quirkiness and uniqueness meets resistance or comes under attack, basically. And why do you have to defend yourself just for being who you are and expressing yourself? And it's really like our differences that make this world a vibrant and diverse and beautiful place to live. You could become kind of belligerent if that's the case as a defense mechanism, which certainly is the, like, you know, the heart of the Scorpion. I mean, especially around on any creature, they're very protective about the place that guards their organs. So if you are under attack or people are always questioning you and you feel like, you know, you're often like backed into a corner, that's when the Scorpion is going to sting. But as well as that, we can kind of defend ourselves by getting kind of belligerent, and that's possible. But the higher self is coming through in this reading with the Tethered One in reverse, aka the Hanged Man. In reverse, this artist has chosen to change the name. And in the reversal, instead of being connected and accepting enlightenment or change of perspective or open-mindedness, with the Hierophant and the Hanged Man or Tethered One in reverse, I'm seeing quite a belligerent attitude from you, Cancer, where you're like, I'll show them, or now I'm just gonna like, it's gonna be my way or the highway, or you kind of are rubbing it in the faces of others. That message may not be for everybody, but it's just going to be a possibility. What I certainly see for you this month is, of course, growth. That's the energy that's coming through on this archetype. So change and transformation and new cycles emerging in your life. The Stone archetype can kind of like, that's like that belligerent attitude, like made of stone or heart of stone or unchanging. So you're being greeted with stone and growth archetypes. So you can stay the exact same, or you can accept yourself for your differences, and you can like radically love yourself. That's that Cancer archetype, for your differences in particular. The Hierophant and the Eight of Cups, you have a mission this month to do things in a different way. It's important that you recognize your uniqueness this month instead of I mean, it's annoying that you have to defend it. That goes without saying, but we can't control other people's closed-mindedness. But be thankful that these whispers are coming in your ear from a higher source, from a higher level of consciousness. Be grateful that you're receiving that. Be happy that you are, you know, you have the codes in this lifetime to awaken, to ascend, and to do things in a different way than they've been done before. And marching to the beat of your own drum is going to be paramount. You have a journey and you've got a destination. You're on your merry way. At the beginning of the month, you're already on your way. Bags are packed and the vision board is being activated too. So I just see you on a mission, on a radically progressive, marching to your beat of your own drum, soul searching, off to find what you're really looking for in this lifetime. And the sun is shining down on you. By the 22nd of June, you're going to be halfway there, if not more than halfway there. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that takes you. And you know what? On the other side of belligerent attitudes, there is just this sense of pride. Like, we don't want to be scrutinized for our individuality or for our perceptions or for our unique and expansive take on things. Recently, the Six of Wands has been the flip side of you needing to be defensive and kind of putting up your armor and feeling like you've got rivals left, right, and center, or even feeling like you're under attack. You've actually seen applause, recognition. The Six of Wands is the victory lap, it's the homecoming, and it's the acceptance you've been waiting for. It's more than acceptance, it's applause, it's popularity, and we all want a bit of that. That's a birthright to receive adoration and being in the spotlight, and that gives us the spiritual skills to confidently express ourselves and to be vulnerable and to show who we truly are. It's going to be a spiritual service to ourselves to be able to do that, and the egoic side of that requires that kind of confirmation and external validation. So the soul actually sets up the experiences that it wants the ego to have in order for the soul to grow. So ego and soul work hand in hand in tandem together. We don't want the ego to rule the roost, of course, but we have to remember that the experiences that we desire, because desire originates from the soul, actually, not from the ego, as far as evolutionary astrologers are concerned anyway. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. Your desires are normal, natural, even if they go against the grain, even if they're unconventional or people just don't really get you. It's actually a beautiful thing, and it's something to be very proud of, I think. So more mundanely, recent successes, validations, victory laps, and applause have fueled you with the confidence to continue to do things in a different way. If you're looking to get married, I do have to speak about certain rituals when the Hierophant comes up. You'll do it in a different way, let's say. If you're looking to celebrate some sort of a tradition, you might be inviting new ways of thinking and doing into that, okay? Even if you're learning or studying or traveling abroad, going about it in a different or more unconventional, non-conventional way is going to actually bring you a lot of fulfillment. And that was that stone, right? It was like, it grounds you when you like roam, and it's like it brings you back, it tethers you essentially. Yeah, so explore what you need to explore, do what you need to do, honor the desires that originate from your soul. The stone coming through actually is a really nice archetype now that I see it. It's like this reading is so kind of expansive, Wheel of Fortune in the environment. So the environment around you in June is one of possibility, trajectories changing, fate, destiny, synchronization, kismet moments. So no wonder you need the stone to ground your ass, right? Otherwise, you'd be way up in the air, you'd be completely untethered and unable to come back. When we astral project, I personally like to imagine myself from this vantage point, but I'm more so this person in my meditation, in my mind's eye. I'm from this vantage point looking down upon my physical body, trying to bring my kind of mind, or my kind of what I'm viewing in my meditation in my mind's eye. I'll be looking at myself in what I'm wearing, in whatever, how I imagine myself to be. I'll be looking down like as if I'm directly on top, but from an elevated vantage point. And I'll always imagine this, I actually imagine it to be silver, coming from my chest, and a cord that basically just holds me and my astral self together, so that when I astral project, which is not all the time, it's rare that I get to do that, and it takes a lot of practice and discipline, but when it happens, it is so incredible. And it's important to remain, though, tethered. You don't want to lose that cord. And on the astral plane, right, we're subject to all kinds of crazy encounters. Think about our dreams. Have you ever been, and this could be talking about the subconscious, what your subconscious is trying to process. Have you been having any dreams lately, Cancer, that you're under attack? Have you been having any dreams about the government or anything like that? Or governing bodies or things like that? War, rivalry, armory, those could all be coming up as symbols too. Snails or butterflies coming through as symbols. But if there is any dreams that you're having about being under attack or being vulnerable or being singled out, basically marginalized and discriminated because of that, these could be themes that your subconscious mind is still trying to process. And on the astral plane, while you sleep, you may just be kind of healing some of those things. That may not be for everybody, but if it is, just trust that you're safe in your bed, okay? The Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands. Recent victories, recent applause, and adoration have given you the confidence to continue on your journey. Where this journey continues to take you in June is I think traveling, I think it's expanding your horizons. The Wheel of Fortune, the environment around you all month is more expansive. Like, so it might be a nice turnaround for you to have people like encouraging you to be different, to go in a different way, or not even like you're not even looking for encouragement. Like, you've already gotten enough ego validation that you've needed. You just want to be accepted. Like, you just don't want to be scrutinized anymore, or even feeling like having to defend ourselves is not comfortable. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, I think that you can let your guard down this month and rest assured, Cancer, that the mood, the tone, the mood of the people around you this month is a little bit more accepting, and they're more open-minded people, and they do care about you, but at the same time they don't care about you. I was talking to the man in my pizza shop next door, and he's from Albania, and we were talking about, and I'm from Ireland, and we were talking about the differences between our cultures that we came from versus New York City, where I live, and it's just its own beast here. So if you live in New York City, you may know what I'm talking about, or especially if you're a native New Yorker. But I was saying, like, I love it. Nobody gives a crap here. You can just be who you want to be. It's very anonymous, and nobody, just like, to be frank, and just what we were saying to each other to repeat, no one gives a shit. And that's just so liberating. And I said, as I was walking out the door, my joke was, oh, and he said, no one knows your business. It's great. I said, no one knows your business. I go, except the government. And he was like, oh, I was like, expect a free slice of pizza next time for that joke. But he was loving it. I was loving it. And it's true. It's like, you're kind of with people that are all expansive. They don't care what you're doing necessarily. They don't not care about you, but they're just happy to like live and let live kind of people. You may be encountering very philosophical people, more high-minded people this month. That's the kind of quality that exists around you. Jupiter, though, the Wheel of Fortune existing around you, also speaks to travel, cross-cultural experiences, and philosophy and astrology and things like that. You might be getting more into those kind of concepts. The Six of Swords also does speak to a transition phase in your life, so this could be you going away on vacation, but I think the stone is telling me that it's like you will return to your center, and maybe you still feel like a bit of weight and pressure. If you're moving abroad or you're relocating from state or county or country, you may feel some weight pulling you back still this month, so you're just going to be dealing with that for some of you, I think. The Justice card and the Page of Pentacles. Some of you are studying at the moment, or going to be practicing, even studying law, I'm seeing, or HR. The Justice card is like about fair dealings, and this could be, and Page of Pentacles is communications. So people coming up in the line of work, or you stepping into like data analysts, communications, networking, social networking, the sharing of information. That's all Page of Pentacles. And then I see like HR or legalities coming through, or sort of contracts coming through with Justice. This could show me that you've recently signed a new contract. This could also tell me that you have recently signed a contract, Justice, to live in a new fabulous place, and you're really happy with it. The Page of Pentacles, this is the message that you are going to be sharing this week, or month, Cancer, I should say. Could be this week though. The Page of Pentacles tells me that you have something that you're really excited to talk about. Like, this person is staring at this pencil like it's the best thing since sliced bread, so they just can't wait to start talking about that and sharing what they know. And this is something that you're still learning about, but you don't have to be an expert to speak on something. Just speak from your heart and speak on what you've experienced. People are really interested in your experience, Cancer, because it's a little bit different, and that's what I'm seeing. Like, the differences that you bring to the table should be celebrated, and I think you've gotten a taste of people accepting you. And you know what? Your subconscious is probably just still processing these kind of like defenses that you've needed to have in place. This could just be conditioning from your childhood or from society, and that could be just something that you're learning to move past, basically, so that you can learn who you truly are and bring that to the table. I've no doubt about you. You're well on your way. The Hierophant and the Eight of Cups. The minute I saw those cards come out, I'm like, yes, Cancer is marching to the beat of their own drum. And then we have the Magician. Wow, okay. Magician card. Absolutely love to see it. It's the outcome card of this reading. That tells me that by June, the end of June, by Cancer season, you've got all this tools, you've got, you feel good about it, you have the resources, you have the passion, you have it worked out in your mind, and that's when the magic begins to happen and you're just about to start something, I think. You're going to start some sort of communication this month. You're going to start teaching or learning something that you already kind of know a little bit about, but you're gaining more and more wisdom. You're really interested in something. The Page of Pentacles and the Magician card actually line up really nicely together, because this tells me that the small steps you're taking towards communicating your message are going to reach mastery levels. Even this month, you're going to see that you're going to be like, okay, I'm hot shit at this. Like, I get it. It makes sense to me. People are engaging with you. The Magician card then is you being like manipulating energy in the world, basically. Another breakthrough that you may have. Whether you're dreaming or astral projecting or not, you kind of are like, oh, I have power, got it. Four of Cups is in the hopes and fears position for me, and it's just like, what is it just like? It's just basically like you're afraid of your feelings sometimes. Like some signs and some people will kind of like intellectualize their feelings or talk about them a lot. You're able to actually feel things, Cancer, and that's actually a massive blessing. This is the Moon in Cancer card. Cancer is the sign of our feelings, and the Moon, of course, is your ruler. And of course, the Moon is where we have the changing of emotions taking place. So I feel like you're afraid of how moody you could be this month, or you're just afraid of like the range of your emotions. But I also started this reading, and I'm going to end it with this. I started reading this reading by saying, like, bring forward your inner emotional world to the external. That's the Magician's alchemy of transmuting, basically. Your inner world is relevant to the external for now. So tell us how you feel. Communicate your feelings. Channel it, and channel it through art, channel it through expression, channel it through getting out in the world and moving around, and I don't know, write a poem or go on vacation and just like have an open heart and an open mind. Basically, yes, this is where I'm going. Be the change you want to be in the world, because if you're used to having to defend yourself for who you are or the way you do things, if you feel like you're under attack, always having to feel like you're under scrutiny or you're being watched, I don't mean that in a paranoid sense, but like you just feel like you're holding a little bit of your essence back, that's just not a spiritual service to yourself. And if people can't handle you, you know who your fan base are basically already, so that's okay. But you're limiting your own growth, basically. So be the change you want to be in the world by accepting radically everybody else around you. You're going to have that mirrored back to you, because our internal reality is going to directly alchemize and create our external. There you have it in a nutshell. Cancer, take care. Have a fabulous month ahead. Happy early birthday to you, and I'll catch you again in Cancer season when we're in the thick of it. Talk to you later.